Do my eyes deceive me, Joan Jones, or we have a high of 38 today?
37, 38. Stefano's saying 35.
Whatever. You know what? That is above snow melt range.
Yeah.
So take that, ice. And
Maybe,
I mean the weather ice, not ice.
Right.
Not the ice we like. There's two kinds of ice, right? There's the kind of ice we like, which is the ones that, go out and get the illegal aliens. And then there's the ice that, maybe in a drink of alcohol or soda pop. And then there's the ice that we don't like, which is on the ground.
There's also Ice Ice Baby, but I just,
Yep.
as a reminder.
That's exactly right.
I won't sing it.
Do. All right, so real quick, we are not streaming. We are radio only right now, and poor Sam is getting his steps in today, Joan, going between the studio and where the computer is. So we are not on YouTube as of yet, but they're working on it. We better be on YouTube soon because I'm wearing a nice sweater today. Joan even complimented me on it.
I like this sweater, yes.
Hey, there's no they, there's only me.
Okay, very good. I don't know what that means, but Sam is working hard on trying to get his the streaming up. We'll hopefully have it up soon. Now, here's the deal. The more we're finding out, and you had this in the news, Joan, the more we find out about Alex Pretti, the more it is really clear that this guy was clearly an agitator. So we're going to talk about that. I do have the video. If you want to see the video, and while Sam is getting the video feed up, I have it ready to go. But if you want to see it right now while we're not streaming, it's on my X feed at Dan Mandis Show. And the bottom line is that 11 days before he died, he was yelling and screaming at ICE. He spit on the ICE vehicle. He kicked out a taillight with the ICE vehicle as well. And do you know what's crazy? I hate to do this on the air, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the air, Sam. I'm going to go ahead and get it set up so that people on the feed can see it. So I'm asking to join. If you could do that real quick. I'm very excited about this video I have to show folks, Joan, which is why I'm halting the show.
Yeah,
to bring
I
up.
can tell.
I know.
Little dance.
Dun, 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 dun. Joan, say something.
Something. How was that?
Yeah. That really wasn't
what you were looking for.
Nope. All right, here we go. So I've got boom, boom, and boom. All right, I've got it. Do you have the Find Mr. Pretti over there? Okay, and are we on YouTube? Yes, okay.
Nice.
Thank you, Sam. And finally, I'm fully functional.
Well.
Clip it. All right, moving right along. All right, this is Alex Pretti, and this is 11 days before he died, and this is, a big story this morning. We are finding out. Now, it was just yesterday, and I do understand that some of this I may or may not have covered yesterday. Remember that I've been doing a lot of storm coverage as well, so I may not have gotten to everything that you may already know. But just realize that yesterday we found out that he had a broken rib from, I think it was the day before or a couple of days before in yet another encounter with ICE. And so, this guy clearly was an agitator. They knew exactly who he was. And now this is, I cannot play audio on this, Sam, because of the fact that there's a lot of F-bombs tossed in there. But if you're watching on Super Talk TV, he is screaming at the ICE agents, and he kicks the vehicle a couple of different times. And, he flipped them off, too, as a matter of fact. And so, and do you know what? When I was watching this, throw his ass down. Go ahead. See, that's the thing. Like, I sorry, not sorry. I'm at the point now where I agree with Greg Gutfeld, who had an epic monologue yesterday, where he was like, we don't care.
We don't care. Yeah.
Anybody care about Renee Good or Alex Pretti? I mean, here's the deal. Senseless deaths. But the reason why their deaths were senseless is because they acted in a manner which resulted in their deaths. And so I'm watching Pretti 11 days before he was killed, thrown to the ground.
And by the way, armed, and his gun didn't go off.
Right. You know what's interesting? He kept carrying that gun. He never used it.
Well, I mean,
so I don't know why
gun owners will do that. They'll carry
Yeah.
the gun in the hopes that they don't have to use it. Was he carrying because he thought he would have to defend himself against ICE agents or against other agitators?
I don't know. But he got thrown to the ground. But here's the thing. Had they arrested him, this is what I want you folks to think about.
Yeah.
Had they arrested him, because he clearly broke the law. I mean, he's spitting on the van. I don't know if that in and of itself is arrest worthy, but he kicked out the taillight of the ICE vehicle. So is that not an arrestable offense? Of course it is. I mean, it's probably a misdemeanor, but whatever. But if they had arrested him, then maybe it would have sort of stopped the chain of events that led him to getting shot and killed. Do you know what I mean? So there were opportunities for ICE to throw this guy in the clinker or whatever they would do to stop that chain of events that led to his death. I mean, yesterday we did. We told you about that broken rib that he ended up getting during an incident days before he was shot and killed. So now the question is, and by the way, I can't play the audio from the video, but what he said, Joan, was, "Assault me, MFer," right? He was yelling at the ICE agents, "Assault me, MFer." Now, does it justify what happened to him? No. But can I be honest? It paints a clearer picture of who this guy was. It paints a clearer picture of what this guy was all about. He wasn't just an ICU nurse. That's about as accurate as Maryland Man, right? But that's what the media wants you to think about when you think of Alex Pretti, that he was an ICU nurse. He was a violent activist that was getting in the way of ICE doing their jobs. And so clearly it's like another day, there's another video of this guy doing, in my opinion, reprehensible things. This is why I love all of these activists with all of their cameras and they're filming everything, because their dirty deeds are all over the internet. And so I think that this is a good thing. So a few things here. Alex Pretti, again, clearly no angel. He was clearly part of the resistance. Just like gangs on the streets, you know that it's dangerous what you're doing. And so you get a gang member that gets shot and killed, and you get all these people, "Oh, he was getting his life together. Oh, my baby didn't do anything wrong." Okay, fine. But he was running around with gangs. So that's number one. So just like gang members on the streets, you know that what you're doing is dangerous. He was clearly actively resisting. He was clearly pushing federal agents. He was agitating, trying to get a reaction. And he did get a reaction. He certainly did. And he paid a price for it. And again, as I said, this dude would still be alive if they had simply arrested him at some point, because it would have interrupted the chain of events that led him to his demise when he agitated the ICE agents one final time. I spent 24 minutes of my life this morning, Joan and Sam, taping and editing the NES board meeting.
That it only took you 24 minutes is pretty good.
Well, unfortunately, because of time constraints, because it was really long and boring. I mean, 24 minutes. I'm going to say it this way. 24 minutes of watching the NES board meeting felt like 2 hours. But I got a bunch of audio bites, and after watching all of it, I have actually, Joan, got more questions than answers. So I'm gonna play you the audio bites coming up in the 6 o'clock hour here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Also coming up, Banana and Rice Girl got arrested. And people are saying online that this is the gift that keeps on giving. We'll talk about that as well. I wonder if she still has that Band-Aid on her head.
That was my thought. That's so funny.
Was that your first thought?
Well, that's exactly what I posted on X.
Oh, was
when
it?
I posted
Okay.
the story. Does she still have the Band-Aid on her head? That's too funny.
You know what's so funny? We'll
alike.
get into that.
Yeah.
and also Ilhan Omar's winery.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got all of that coming up here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Apparently, Tom Homan is going to hold a news conference in Minneapolis. We'll cover that for you as well. But, you know, we're talking about Alex Pretti, and we're talking about how he is out there, he was out there doing all of these reprehensible things. You have the people in the media trying to call him an ICU nurse, and as I said, that's about as accurate as calling Kilmar Abrego Garcia Maryland man.
Dad, yeah.
Or whatever it was, a dad or whatever.
No, I think you had it, Maryland man.
Yeah. So Greg Gutfeld went absolutely nuclear on Jessica Tarloff. Can I just say, does she get combat pay?
She must. She has to.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's such a... I don't want to say anything negative about Jessica Tarloff. I'm sure she's a very nice person.
She seems like she be itching a lot.
She carries the leftist line. She just... I mean, it's like she receives the talking points in the morning. It was just like Juan Williams before her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I you know what? And it's kind of funny, too, because the leftist talking points are so easily, like, combated. And so when Greg Gutfeld, they're talking about Alex Pretti, and he goes off not only on Jessica Tarloff, but about the whole situation and about how the selective outrage of Democrats is so incredibly obvious.
We had dozens of deaths where you didn't say shit. Jocelyn Nungary, Laken Riley, Rachel Morin, Molly Tibbetts. Here's 3 pages of women who have been murdered by illegal aliens in the last 7 or 8 years. The 7 or 8 years that we have been here talking about this and mocked over it. When we showed the embassy, showed the border being overrun and people laughed at us. And now you're here. It's like you're the maid trying to clean up a mess and somebody there is staring at you going, oh, you got to clean it up better. No, you made the mess. Yep. This is the Democrat Party's mess that we're trying to clean up. And you're saying, wow, these ICE agents are using terrible language. We don't care.
That I love it. And I do like that. I do like that when he says we don't care. Because we don't. I think that by and large, we're exhausted by all of this. I am, just to be perfectly candid, I love what Greg Gutfeld says when he says, you know, we're bored by all of this. It's like, how many different times are we going to see the same thing happen? Renee Good, she was just dropping off her kids from daycare, right? Alex Pretti, you know, an ICU nurse, and he is, out there helping the veterans when we actually realize that he was clearly an agitator. And so he's got a great analogy. I mean, think of it this way, right? Your kids make a mess out of their rooms. You get really angry and you start cleaning up the rooms, maybe tossing some of their toys or putting them up so that they can't play with them. And the kids throw a tantrum. Well, that is exactly what's happening here, where the Biden administration and the Democrats, they are the ones that caused all of this mess. So now Republicans and Donald Trump, by mandate from the American people, are trying to clean up their mess. And the left is throwing a bunch of tantrums. And Alex Pretti and Renee Good, they're the little kids and the entire left, where they are fighting the Trump administration as we are trying to clean up their mess, and they messed around and they found out. They let in illegal aliens. They had the open border. The Trump administration is being as aggressive as the Democrats were during Biden, but just in different forms. I mean, think about it. So the Biden administration, they were really aggressive in not only allowing the open border, but having the open border and then lying about it to the American people. That was not passive aggressive. That was absolutely aggressive in allowing all of these criminals in. And obviously there were politics involved in all of that. I don't need to go through that again. But as aggressive as they were, and now the Trump administration is being just as aggressive in trying to clean up what they did. And there's nothing wrong with that. And yes, some people on the left are paying with their lives unnecessary deaths because of their aggressive actions towards law enforcement. One of the things to think about as well is that if Alex Pretti, he had a broken rib, and 11 days before he was shot and killed, he was thrown to the ground. So he knew on that fateful day when he was shot and killed, he knew there was a possibility that things could escalate. And they did. And now he's dead. And you do get to the point where you don't care. Because they're doing it to themselves. And I don't believe that this makes me a bad person. I've had people say, well, gosh, when you say things like that, Dan, you sound like an ogre. You sound like a bad person. You think that you sound like you're enjoying the deaths of these people on the left. And of course I'm not enjoying the deaths of the people on the left. I just don't care anymore because they're doing it to themselves. It is 524 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN 615-737-9986. The Super Text line is open. And Joan has the news, by the way, back in studio. Everybody's all excited, Joan. They can see you again.
Wow.
I know.
I threatened to wear my pajamas to work today, but I didn't do it, Dan.
No, you
Didn't do
didn't.
it. Nope.
No, you didn't. Should we expose what you and I talked about as far as our pajamas go on text yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Should I?
Maybe.
Welcome on into a Thursday. It's Friday for me. Brian Wilson is going to be filling in for yours truly Friday and Monday. And I'm going to help my daughter move, Joan. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I get to go.
Good dad status.
Yeah. Well, as I said the other day, I'll be moving, couch cushions and
Little
soft
coffee tables.
little coffee tables, pillows. If she's got a Keurig I can move, I think I could probably do that as well.
You'll probably supervise really well.
Listen,
Hey, you, move it over there. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's very true. Anyway, moving right along. All right, so Brian, Friday and Monday. All right, so real quick, because I got a lot that I want to do. We're going to get to Banana and Rice Girl. We will. But I want to play this video real quick. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad, Joan and Sam?
I bet Sam did.
Yeah, when it first aired.
All right, so I love Breaking Bad. They're all a bunch of leftist loons, though.
Yeah.
Got some video. So the guy that plays Gus Fring, his name is Giancarlo something or another.
Esposito.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So what is becoming the number one rule when you watch lunatics on the left? Stupid glasses. If they're going to say the stupid glasses are indicative that they're going to say something stupid. So I've got this video of old Giancarlo there, and he is giving an interview, and I'm going to play this all the way through. Basically, he says, oh, yeah, we need to have a revolution. Not everybody is going to die. That's what he said. Listen.
This is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting. Some very rich old white men are exerting their power to suppress our own people, thus creating a feeling of civil war in the streets, preparing the haters to hate, teaching them how to shoot. They're not even trained right, to kill. This is all a preparation for a very insidious problem that's happening in our world.
I think he's also got a silk scarf on. So it's kind of funny to hear this guy.
I believe that would be an Afghan, the way that's being worn.
Okay. I have no idea what that is, but okay. I'll take your word for it. Like a scarf, right? Anyway, whatever. He looks very feminine. I'm going to say it that way. He looks very feminine. Not that there's anything wrong with looking feminine. Joe, no offense, but he looks more feminine than you do this morning.
Well, that's offensive. Yeah, that is offensive.
I'm sorry. He is. He looks very feminine. I mean, I'm not saying
high
that.
fashion, Dan.
Oh, is that what that is?
It's
Is that high
fashion?
fashion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. He looks high fashionable. Sorry.
And for me, I have to speak out that we will not be iced out. This is not going to happen. They can't take us all down. If the whole world showed up on Putin's doorstep or on the Iranians' doorstep or in Washington, it would stop. They'll kill 550 million, however, but the rest of us would survive.
The hell is he talking about?
50 million?
So he literally just said, well, they'll kill 500 or 50 million, but they can't kill everybody. I mean, there's a reason why Hollywood people should stick to scripts.
With this is time for a revolution. It's time for it, and they don't even know that's what they're starting.
You know what's so funny is that this whole thing was started by Joe Biden. This whole thing was started by Joe Biden and the Democrats, as I said in the 5 o'clock hour. They are the ones that should. I've got about, Joan, I got about 38 seconds left from Giancarlo, whatever the hell his name is, from Breaking Bad. Do you think he's going to say anything worthwhile in the next 38 seconds? Yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you want me to move on?
No, I want to hear how insane they are.
Okay, very good.
But we have to be strong enough to know that we can change the world. We have to change it from within. So if I'm spiritually ready and right, and I'm ready to understand other people and to agree to disagree with them and say, okay, let's find the solution together.
The solution was closing the borders.
The solution was going to the voting booth and voting, which we did.
Yes. Bingo. Thank you.
Bingo.
That gets a bingo.
Yeah.
I love when Sam gives me a bingo, which doesn't happen nearly as often as you getting a bingo.
Then that starts to change things, not by deporting immigrants, not by killing brown and even white people on the street. It's crossing over now, and believe me, this is gonna really spark the nature of so many people who are gonna show up and say no more. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
How original.
So original.
And I'd like to tell Giancarlo, whatever his name is, to take his little spirituality talk and get lost.
There you go.
Don't you dare try to connect yourself to spirituality with that kind of talk.
Bingo. Apparently Sam didn't think that was bingo worthy. I did, though. Thank you, Sam.
Boom.
But see, it doesn't count if I have to prod you into
it.
Right. But anyway, so yeah, I thought it was... if you want to go slash his tires, Joan, that he probably drives a Prius.
Well,
so go to Hollywood and find a Prius. It's probably his and slash those tires.
Well, it's probably a tricked out, because it's probably pink. Just saying.
What? Bingo. Do you think that his Giancarlo's Prius might be a little flamboyant?
Yeah. The Mary Kay cars.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably that kind of pink with a little bling on it has the eyelashes on the front lights.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has them.
All right, moving right along.
Sorry.
This is Anna Navarro. Now, this is really funny, talking about Alex Pretti.
They killed the wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretti is the guy you would want to date your daughter.
Can I ask a question? But just that has nothing to do with anything. But why does she put a Spanish accent on his last name?
I know.
Can she just not help herself? Woman. Let's start from the beginning.
The guy that you'd want to date your daughter, but MS Now had to edit his looks to make him look more appealing. Yeah, sure.
There is that.
Yeah.
They killed the wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretti is the guy you would want to date your daughter. The guy you would want your son to grow up to be. They can't malign him. They can't malign him because we have the videos.
A few moments later.
Showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
Yeah, and he's got his middle finger hoisted, and he's kicking the back of the ICE vehicle and so forth. So I love how the left, people like Anna Navarro, and I know this is a problem on both sides, but it's like they're so quick to defend, some of these folks that meet their demise, untimely demise, and when it clearly wasn't necessary, but it's their own behavior that led to this. But I love that they're so anxious to defend them when they don't even know them. I mean, I don't know when exactly this was, but how did she know when she alleged that Alex Pretti was like the perfect man? I don't even know where she would get that from. But then, as the video said, a few moments later, you find out exactly who Alex Pretti is. So there is that. Now, Bananas and Rice Girl has been arrested. So let's get into this because I know that Sam very seldom will text me first thing in the morning. He was so incredibly excited that he actually texted me and said, "Hey, Dan, Bananas and Rice Girl has been arrested." So remind people who Bananas and Rice Girl is, Sam.
Yeah, American-born, Somali background. There's that press conference of her claiming she was assaulted by ICE agents. She had the 2 Band-Aids on her forehead to show her wounds from it all, and that they called her the N-word.
She said that she had a concussion, but all she had was a Band-Aid on her head.
Yeah, I had a couple of in football we called them C words because it was a curse to say them. You know, if you said it, you would have one type of thing.
Oh, concussion.
Yeah, and so
well, I've got the video and the audio. This is what she had to say.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like
the laugh.
It's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American.
Where was she born? Didn't we go through this the other day?
I mean, obviously she has an American
She's an American accent, so I don't know how long she's either been in America. Yeah. I don't know if she was actually born in Somalia or if she just like bizarrely identifies as Somalian.
But it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
No, I don't get what you mean.
No.
Do you know what I think of, you know, being Somalian in America means? Getting a bunch of free crap and ripping off the American taxpayers. That's how I see Somalians in America. I know it's not all of them. You can save your text messages.
It's a lot of them though. And she's born and raised in Minnesota, which is as you know, they start looking into the fraud and they say, oh, it's been going on for almost a decade and that kind of stuff. She's 23 years old, so she's kind of born into that generation of Somali Minnesotans, many Somalias, whatever you want to call it. But I mean,
well, now she has been arrested for participating in I guess it was in an attack on ICE agents. Is that from what I understand? She was arrested and accused federal immigration officers of kidnapping and abuse. That's what she was. That's that original press conference where she was accusing ICE agents of kidnapping and abuse. Again, she claimed that she had which, by the way, you know, she sounds pretty alert for having a concussion.
Yeah. She was charged with resisting arrest, part of a group of 16 people, spitting at agents and throwing an egg at them.
She was throwing eggs at the...
Yeah, I think so. We look at the Pretti case, right? We see 11 days ago he was kicking the ICE vehicle. You know, that's vandalism, destruction of government property. They didn't charge him with that, so he felt emboldened to show back up and you know, I guess take it to the next level.
Well, that's... Now
they've charged her because they don't want this kind of thing to happen again.
What have we been saying all along? Where we're soft on crime policies. So when these people don't face any consequences or ramifications for their actions, then what do? They escalate. We've been talking about this with soft on crime judges and district attorneys for years. We've been talking about that. So, you know, just as Sam said, if Alex Pretti had been arrested for spitting on the ICE vehicle, I don't know if he actually spit on any ICE agents, but kicking out the taillight and so forth, that we now know that he was doing 11 days before he was shot and killed. If he'd been arrested, it could have interrupted the events that led to his death. And so it's the same thing with this woman now, the banana and rice girl, where she have now been arrested for participating in, are they calling it a riot that she was involved in? I mean, there was she and 16 other people or 15 other people, whatever it is.
She was obstructing justice.
She was obstructing justice.
Yes.
Okay.
Obstructing ICE operations. Now, you want the media perspective on this? So I looked up, all you have to do is go to, like, in your IRL in the computer, just put bananas and rice girl. Okay? Mm-hmm. You'll come up with a story from Fox News, The Times Now, I don't even know where they're from, Hindustan Times, Sky News Australia, The Times of India, and MSN even has a story, but not ABC, NBC, CBS.
Right.
MSNBC or whatever they call themselves now. None of those outlets are covering this joke of a person. None of them.
I wonder why that is.
But I think we all know, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pam Bondi apparently was part of this whole thing, saying, I'm on the ground in Minneapolis today. Bondi wrote on X, federal agents have arrested 16 Minnesota rioters for allegedly assaulting federal law enforcement. People have been resisting and impeding our federal law enforcement's rights. It's about damn time. Like, it is about time. Can we talk about Ilhan Omar's winery? So I'm going to be honest with you folks. Like, I've been covering the weather a lot the last couple of days. So there are some of these stories that I might be a day late on. But so Ilhan Omar, she has I'm going to air quote this now, right? She has a winery. And this winery apparently somehow made, $5 million, whatever it is, as her wealth has skyrocketed. She's now being investigated by the, I can't remember which committee is it? Who's investigating her? Is it House? I forget now. The Republicans in the House are investigating her. It's James Comer. And so it turns out, like, there's no winery. Like, she has all this income from a winery, but there's no winery.
Yeah, there's not a
physical
confirmed
winery.
Physical winery, and there's no visible physical operations from 2023 onward, and I believe they don't even have there's no active business license out of Santa Rosa, which is where they claim it is.
California.
By the way,
and the website was scrubbed here in the last few days.
This is not a congressional committee that is investigating her. It is the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington. We're talking big time.
Okay.
It just so happens that she gets assaulted with an unknown liquid in a syringe right before this is all about to break.
Well, she was, I'll get to the audio. I'm running out of time rapidly, but she was in some sort of a gathering, I think it was last night, where she said that, Donald Trump is obsessed with her and, she's, I think, effectively blaming him for this attack on her from the other night, which is, I think everybody knows it was staged. And, this is part of what, obviously this is part of what she does. If you follow me on X, I did actually post this meme. It is a bottle of wine with Ilhan Omar's face on it, and it says, somebody sprayed something.
Oh, my goodness.
Which is very funny.
That's hysterical.
If you want to go see it on X, you can follow me on X at Dan Mandis Show. But the winery doesn't exist, just like the daycare centers don't exist. Just like the medical transportation companies don't exist, right? So, I don't know. I'm noticing a pattern. Whether we're talking about Ilhan Omar's winery in California, where she supposedly made $5 million with a non-existent winery, to all of these daycare centers in Minnesota and other places now where you've got no kids. You've got these medical transport companies, again, run by Somalians, and they have no vans, or the vans have not moved in like months, and no patients. Yet they're getting millions and millions and millions of dollars, and obviously it's all fraudulent. And so this is all just clearly par for the course. By the way, I'm beginning to really appreciate Nick Shirley. Did you see what he did? Nick Shirley shows up at the Washington, D.C. office of Ilhan Omar, and he had a Children's Learing Center sweatshirt, and he presented it to Ilhan Omar's assistant or whoever it is. She wouldn't come to the door, but it was very funny. He said, I'm here to give her this Children's Learing Center sweatshirt. I want one of those, Joan.
I do too.
Should we? There's so many cool things out there that I would just love to purchase. And the Children's Learing Center would be one of them. Of course, the problem is that if somebody wasn't familiar with the story, it could look really creepy.
Well, I was going to say the problem is they never leer.
Children? What are you talking about? They never leer.
They never.
What?
The fraudsters, they never leer.
They never learn.
They never learn.
They never learn.
Oh, got it. Okay. Nope.
Oh, boy.
You know what? That wasn't even worthy of the da-da-da. Anyway, whatever. It's all good. Coming up, 6 o'clock hour, I have all that audio. Listen, I want a favor from the listeners. I spent a lot of time cutting up the audio from the NES meeting from I think this was yesterday. 24 minutes out of my life of watching this thing, pulling the audio to tell the story of what their excuse is as to why we still have. What do we still have, Joan? Is it still over 100,000? No, it's under.
Well, NES is under 100,000, but
I think about 90,000.
It's 90. It was 93 last time I checked this morning, but if you figure in all the others, we're still well above. We're still, probably around 120, 130,000 still. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. I've got some audio, and there's a lot of questions that I have. Because there were some very specific allegations that were made against NES, which we covered extensively yesterday, that were not discussed in this meeting yesterday, and I'm kind of curious as to why.